Coming up today on Lawrie Goes Loco, I drive this, I fire this, and I drive that. Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM. For most YouTubers whose subject matter is mostly outside, December is normally a quieter month. The daylight is limited, the weather's normally poor, and it's cold. So it's a good excuse to catch up on some well-needed rest and to return to the editing suite and try and get ahead with editing because December is the best month for ad revenue. For me, however, December is one of my most busy months of the year, and that is because as well as doing all of this and making content for you to enjoy, I am still a volunteer at a number of heritage railways, and our most busy part of the season is winter because we do Santa specials, and this year was no exception, with my time being taken up by no less than 4 heritage railways. So I thought you'd like to see what I got up to, and we start off at the Swindon and Cricklade Railway. And I was hugely excited, for the locomotive we'd been using over the festive period was Newstead, the lost engine. And once we got steam up, before we could move, they had to fire up the O3 to go and pull Santa's Grotto out from inside the shed. And once all movements on the shed had been completed, we were able to go and couple up to our train, ready to operate top and tail for the rest of the day.
Handbrake off. Handbrake's off. Have we got a green flag? Yep, green flag. Clear yours. My side. Crossing still clear, your side. Looks good, yours as well. Shutting off. Thank you.
On this particular trip, we had to pause to speak to the signalman, which gave me the opportunity to move the camera. From there, it was a pleasant trundle up to the end of the current running line, and over the weekends that I was there, I experienced all kinds of winter weather, from rain to stunning sunshine. And once we'd arrived at the other end, it was time to stop the train and make the engine safe, ready for its return journey, where we would be dragged by the diesel.
Right, back is off. Just so you know they're on their creation. Brake is on. Loco crew acknowledged. Green flag arrow. Brake off.
As the sun sets so early in winter, we ran services into the dark, and this allowed me to do one of my favourite things in the world, driving a steam engine through the night.
Shutting off. Okay, for you. As you approach the signal, prepare the signal. What to do? Crossing clear. Crossing clear, my side.
The sensation of the footplate is magnified by the dark, the flickering fire, the hot and the cold. It's magical. But it wasn't just passenger services that I was involved with. Back home at the Whitwell and Reefton Railway, we were firing up the 48. Today we were helping the railway out with one of these shunts that happens behind the scenes to ensure that we can continue to operate a passenger service, and to this end we were off to go and collect Agecroft number 3, which needed to go inside the shed for some repair work. Having deposited Agecroft onto the front of the North British that had previously been in the shed, we moved the Ruston 48 clear, ready for the whole consist to be shoved into the shed. Next up, we need to shunt release the North British, because this was waiting on parts to turn up, which hopefully will have arrived by the time the work had finished on Agecroft.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
And having completed this particular set of movements, it's time to move on to the North Dorset Railway, where I was there to help light up their resident steam engine for a very, very exciting day. This was my first time on an S100 or a Yugoslavian Class 62, and I was hugely excited. So I went about my prep, checking the firebox, laying my fire, and then setting fire to it.
Excellent.
It was an amazing place to see the sun rising for this very important day.
Oh yeah.
And I made sure to fire the locomotive with care and attention.
Get a bit warm, air conditioning. Yeah.
The first job was to transport Father Christmas into the platform for all the kiddies. Having safely delivered Father Christmas, the next job was to go pick up classmate number 62521, which is going to be known as number 30076, filling up a gap in the southern numbering system, and move it over to its new location. This was a significant movement because it was the first time the two engines would move together, and certainly the first time in preservation that 30075 had moved 30076. And obviously, for the only remaining group, the Project 62 guys, this was a momentous occasion, both their engines moving together.
Before and after picture, isn't it? The shoe one, it looks very good.
Once we deposited 30076, it was then shunted into its new resting place by the resident diesel. With the shunt complete, we headed off to the cafe to get some lunch, for the next move was going to be the most exciting yet. With stomachs full, we were now heading up the line on newly laid track. And this was significant for a number of reasons. Firstly, this was going to be the longest distance that 30075 had managed under its own steam since its latest overhaul, having previously only moved around the station confines. Secondly, it would be the first steam engine to transfer over this new section of track, but more importantly, we were heading up to a bridge, and the rails had recently been relaid over this bridge, and this very bridge had not seen steam locomotive on it since 1966. And so it was hugely exciting to be making our way up towards this, to see a sight that engine men had not seen this millennium. And to say that I was excited about being part of this is a massive understatement. We were literally on our way to make history. And that's pretty cool. Moments like this are special. They are the momentous achievements of the heritage movement. And normally you read about these things on social media or within the heritage magazines, but to see it with your own eyes, to actually be there, is even more incredible. And I've been privileged enough to be privy to many of these historic moments. But to actually be physically involved in it, to be on the footplate and be that crew bringing steam back to this part of the line and crossing over a road, something not seen this millennium, this has got to be one of my favourite things that I have ever done. What an absolute honour, sitting on top of a road where a steam train hasn't been since 1966. This was an absolute privilege. Well done to everybody involved. I love seeing stupid things like this happening. A railway that was gone, relayed, recrossing a road. Brilliant work, guys. Absolutely brilliant. And thank you for letting me be part of it. Having saved the moment on the bridge and allowed people from the railway to get their photos of this historic moment, it was time to head back down the line. As we return to where we started, we passed 30076, which shows you how far the group has come, starting with a halt like that and restoring it to a working locomotive, and I look forward to seeing this one running as well. Once we'd come to a stop, certain members of the railway were permitted to come for a footplate ride up the newly laid railway.
Clear my side. Clear my side all the way to the bridge.
There you go.
We ended up doing a load of different trips, taking as many members of the railway up and down as possible during daylight hours.
Hang up. Still clear in front. Do you mind popping up there? Sure.
I really enjoyed the challenge of firing a locomotive that I had never been on before. I have absolutely zero experience of this class, apart from seeing one of their sisters running in Bosnia, so to be able to keep this under control, a good head of steam and the boiler full of water really put my experience to the test, and it's the kind of challenge that I absolutely excel at, because I love firing locomotives and consider myself to be a pretty good fireman. As you can tell, I absolutely love my day down at the North Dorset Railway and look forward to returning, but not all of my December turns were so far away from home, as I did a day on my local line, the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway. This was the day after the winter solstice, so there's nothing like starting that new year by getting up early and firing up a steam engine. This is Illingworth, an engine that I crewed when it visited the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway some 8 years ago, so it's really exciting to get back on the footplate and see what it's like. And so I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I got up to over the festive period. There are links to all the railways that I visited over there in the video description, and let me know in the comments below which one was your favourite. And with that, well, thank you all very much for watching. How about clicking somewhere over there for another adventure over here on Lawrie Goes Loco, or down there for some other adventure on our sister channel, LMM. With that, well, I'm going to go and get some sleep because it has been a very, very busy month. It's been awesome. But my days, every weekend to be at a railway on the footplate, yeah, it's been amazing actually. It's been genuinely amazing. Anyway, ta-ra.